All right, what's up, everybody? And is my mic on? Yes, it is. What's up, Miss Adara?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
You ready? You ready to do this?
Yeah, I am. I'm excited to see how it goes. I'm very excited. I'm very eager to get
You
going.
may notice I may be a little different than Sharif.
Yeah.
No, I won't be talking about different bread types like Paneras and all that kind of stuff. You know, I'll call you by your first name, and we'll do things. I appreciate it as well. Great to have Adara here, so we're happy to go. Yeah, it should be a fun one. I just switched my symbol to D on here, which makes no sense because that's Dominion Energy. What I'm trying to do is get a daily chart here because we had a pretty good day overall. We had gold, though, Adara, down 2.4%, so that was something pretty interesting, and we are going to have up here a little rundown. We have the sector recap. If you're joining us for the first time, everything will basically be the exact same. Adara, if she's hearing any news or anything that breaks, will come through. She'll be watching the chat. We got Benzinga Pro. This show is sponsored by Benzinga Pro, so that should be really fun to get that going. And what a day it was today, starting with FXI up 1.7%. A little boring, generally speaking, with FXI, but a nice move upside as some of the Chinese names, including PDD, started to get going as well here today. That was a nice move. Gold downside, we talked about that. Gas upside. Some of the financials started to lead the way today as well. But it was really, I mean, look, XLK is here up 2%, up 1%. We were almost up 1.5% there. But it is nice as we zoom in a little bit. You see this? You see this? We finally have a green tick here on the daily chart. After a couple red days, we finally come back in. Now you're up in and around that 4 and change level. This is the Benzinga Pro. Now, I'm not logged in for some strange reason here right now, Adara, so I'm going to get logged in to Benzinga Pro. But has any of the earnings sort of dropped yet?
Yeah.
We're waiting for CLF. Yeah, what do you see?
Well, we got Cadence Designs. I don't know if this is a major one, but they just came in here. I'll pull up their chart so everybody can see this. Yeah, so big move down here on Cadence. We're going to find out what exactly happened here. I'll pull this up on the Trade Ideas. Shout out to Michael Noss and the team over there at Trade Ideas. Yeah. Oh, I like the little mini symbol there. But yeah, so they
wow, okay.
Earnings per share and for sales here. They've raised their outlook, so I'm not seeing exactly what's moving Cadence here to the downside. I'm not seeing anything particularly on this, but I will keep an eye out. If I see anything here, I will let you guys know. So far, though, it all seems like positive across the board in terms of both outlook and the actual numbers they delivered. Because usually if there's the move down and the numbers are positive, outlook might be bad. I'm not seeing that for Cadence, but any other earnings, I'll let you guys know.
Good. Thank you, Ms. Adara. Here's a couple looks at some of the names that we had seen today. Today, the market recovered, man. It recovered greatly from that move there on Friday and into last week. Was a little dangerous. It's funny because we filmed that podcast on Wednesday talking about doom and gloom, and then it was followed by Thursday, bye-bye, Friday, bye-bye, but a nice little recovery today. Look at this board here. I mean, we don't really see too many names in the red. We have UNH there, Adara. We have Tesla as well, and Verizon. So a couple names that were moving around the market definitely recovered from a big day on Friday, with now today both the NASDAQ and the S&P 500 starting to go upside. And again, a lot of that was sponsored by our friend NVDA. NVDA today was up over 4% or near the end of the day there. We lost $211 billion, Adara, in market cap alone on Friday. That, quite frankly, is more than any market cap of a stock reporting today, and they lost that in one day. So as we go up, we do start to come back down. Today, China was nice. Tesla, though, with that full self-drive news, I mean, they dropped the price of full self-drive, what is it, 4,000? So from 12,000 down to 8,000. That's something there. With Tesla earnings on deck, I mean, we're starting to lose it, Adara, down to 140 and looking even lower. But guess what? Tomorrow, we get sponsored up by General Motors. So they're coming with an earnings play. And look at the difference in this one. I mean, I know when you first started trading, we probably didn't trade too much of GM and a lot of Tesla, but now GM is straight upside, coming with the report tomorrow, April 23rd on the pre-market. So we'll have this, today's the 22nd.
Yeah.
So we'll get this tomorrow, Adara, and we'll see what happens with GM. I mean, you don't own a car, do you?
I do not drive at all.
But it would probably be an electric car if you chose.
I assume it would, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens here with GM making that move back up. But what's on deck this week, or even coming, Spotify, UPS, GM, Pepsi are all before the open. And then Tesla, Visa, and Enphase are all before the close tomorrow. So we'll just keep checking our Benzinga, and that's what it's all about. And look at the chat. Let's go a little love to the chat here. We do have Chris Varley coming, and this is a guy who hasn't had McDonald's in over 45 years. We talked about that last time, and no, it's not that long. I think it's like 20 years. When's the last time you had McDonald's?
I don't get it much. It's maybe like a couple months ago or something.
A month ago, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a huge McDonald's.
Same. We'll get the coffees and stuff like that because the kids always want to get the fries, something like that. I like the coffee.
I like the coffee.
They got the coffee and muffin deal. It's like $3.
I like the muffins too. Yeah.
I like the muffins.
Yeah,
the
why
muffins.
not?
What is your my muffin would be Raisin Bran. I know that's not a popular choice.
See?
Where the hell's who said that?
Who do you think said that?
Like people like this is the thing. Like I get in trouble for saying something and then I hear an ew in the background. That's fine. To each their own.
Yeah.
I don't know if that would be my favorite. You know what I like? The banana nut crunch is a good one.
Okay, I'm not a huge banana person. I don't mind Raisin Bran, but my favorite, if we're talking McDonald's, I like the cranberry orange.
Ooh, the cranberry orange.
I do like the way the oranges and cranberry dispersed.
That mixes well.
Yeah, I like it.
Adara, we have Cliffs out, it looks like. So Cliffs, CLF, right now, 1.5 billion share repurchase program. That's coming into the building again. Let me just go over to a 1 minute chart and see what whoa. All right, so copper not doing the greatest right here. Here is the Benzinga Pro platform, of course. So we'll have this right here. Where's CLF? There it is right here. So we have adjusted EPS right now of 18 cents, missing 22. So that is a fail. We'll slap that on there with another red miss here. That's kind of cool about the Benzinga platform. It's just green or red. There's the miss again. But I like this, the 1.5 billion share repurchase program. Of course, we've seen that with many names. And Adara, what share repurchase means is that they don't know where they're going to put their money, so they're just going to buy back stock.
Yeah.
So they're going to lower the float that's out there, creating hopefully more value for shareholders that currently are in the name. So CLF with a nice pushback in right there. What is it up on the year? So right here, down 1.04%. So just trying to hold on right now is CLF. And if we reverse it back in, we do have a nice bottom possible, but that doesn't happen until about $17 or $18. So right now, CLF is downside. That cadence, though, was the one that you brought to our attention. Look at this, down 8% now on the 1 minute chart. We'll flip it over. Big shout out to Trade Ideas. We will have Chris coming out for us soon. But look at this, a huge move down into 261, 263. Flip it over to a daily chart. And again, another software name, Adara, that continues to get hit. Earnings are going to be real exciting coming through this year. Yeah. So get ready. Like I know you're trading right now live. You're going to see something in just a couple days. The market should be pretty wild. Are you excited?
Oh, I'm so excited. And I think especially, too, we have 4 of the Meg 7 names reporting this week. We have Tesla, we have Microsoft, we have Meta, we have Alphabet. And I think all of those alone are going to create some really exciting moments. And I'm excited to trade those and try trading them for the first time live because, of course, my approach is going to be a little bit different.
Right.
So exciting.
Right. Yeah, good. Okay, yeah, let's start hitting these live. For me, I don't prefer to trade them immediately on earnings, but we'll find some key levels. You know what was interesting? I have the roll call up here. I want to thank everybody for staying tuned with us again today. We have over 2,900 watching us right now as we go. Can't wait for my Raisin Bran muffin. Oh, by the way, Armin, what kind of socks you got on there? Those are like little fancy green socks there? Oh, they're just Argyle or checkered? All right, let's keep on going here. Oh, what about uranium? You want to share your screen? You want to share something? Is that what you're doing? Oh, you're talking about that?
No, I was just trying to figure out what happened.
Okay. I want to welcome Adara right now. Welcome. How's it going so far in this recap show?
It's been good. I'm happy to be here. I'm still getting used to it all, but thank you so much for having me. And hi, everybody.
Let us know in the chat here. This is the first time ever that I've had a co-host. Well, I think I've done it with Brendan maybe once.
Yeah, I think you and Brendan.
And I think Neil and Brendan hit it. On days I can't be here, Neil will be sitting here. But I mean, the good thing about this is, the more you're on air, the more we pay you. Maybe was that my mic live there? No, okay. So that's good. So good job, Adara. We love that Adara's doing this as we go. Shout out to Miss A. Let us know in the chat. We think it's been a great advancement here. Okay, the one thing I want to talk about, and I tweeted something. Oh, I'm not logged. Oh, I am logged into Twitter. Haha. Sometimes I miss it. You sent this to me, Adara, which I thought was pretty neat. And it was the top performers from last week. So I think that when you're looking at this and you're going to say last week we were down 5, down 6, down 2. This is Microsoft, Alphabet, Apple, NVDA down 14%. Amazon getting absolutely clocked. These are all the big names. What we always want to look for is what was relatively strong.
Yeah.
You know, so we had Alphabet again, and relative just against its peers. So we had Alphabet only down 2% yesterday or last week. So when you're looking at what's happening today, you're going to see today we actually had Google to the upside.
Yeah.
So again, outperforming the market a little bit here today as Google just continues to march higher here on the 1-minute chart, taking back out to that 158 level, then dropping back in a little bit. So I like the levels here for Google. I think this is something that we'll look at. Earnings post-market on the 25th. And again, just on the daily chart, there's not too many of them that are still up top. Google, for me, is the most interesting name heading into earnings. And then the other name that I like would be Meta. I mean, this is getting ready to dump. I sold some of this. This is post-market Wednesday. So you think we're having a lot of fun now, Adara? Wednesday, we're going to be off the chains right here now. 474 for Meta. I'm a little nervous about that one. Have you been reading anything about any of these major tech names? What names we should be worried about?
Yeah, I mean, I think one thing I would just say for myself is I think Google could be a really interesting surprise because I think they have been, as you've said, it's really strong, and I feel like it's kind of been stealthy. We haven't talked a lot about Google. We don't talk a lot about Google, but I feel like Sundar Pichai and his team could be cooking something
bang,
up.
there she goes. Oh, now you're name dropping? Now you're name dropping?
They had that AI fumble with Gemini, so I think they have a lot to prove, and I think this could be the opportunity for them to do so in that earnings call. But Microsoft, too, I would not underestimate that team. They have OpenAI. They have AI on lock there. So I think, and you know, last time their earnings call was pretty much a knockout. So I think that could be a really interesting move as well.
Okay, so a couple good names there. Thanks, Adara, for that. Yeah, no, I'm with you on all of that. When's the last time we saw a board like this? And I know for those of you that are joining, we've already sort of looked at this, but it was just real quick. I don't remember the last time, honestly. Sometimes when we get moves up, like, okay, NASDAQ will be up, but oil might be down, or the financials might be down. But today, it was like across the board, we had a lot of strength. And I look at something like Berkshire, up 0.1% again. It was strong last week. It held fort again. All these finance names, including, let's go over to the screen quickly, Ramin, if we can. Wells Fargo, American Express, JP Morgan, the big dog, Bank of America there. All the financials well up. And we actually had a pretty cool layout development here from Trade Ideas, whereby we can show all the different sectors.
I like that.
Look at the financial sector. Goldman Sachs, Capital One. They're all here and they're all huge and they're really nice. In the energy sector, Schlumberger to the downside, Halliburton as well. So a couple moves down there as I just look over and she's really interested. So that is fantastic. The Qs, despite her, Burke B, XLK, IWM started going. I like the technology sector for IBB. So what that is, you ever looked at the IBB before?
No, I have not.
So that's biotech.
Oh, okay.
So a stock like Moderna, and look what's been happening to this on the daily chart. I think, hey, I don't know about you, Adara, I'm getting older every day.
Same.
So same, you are too?
Yeah,
okay,
of
good,
course,
so it's
yeah.
not just me? Okay,
No, no.
I just look like I'm getting older. But the idea here is that, hey, as the population ages, I kind of like both the XLV on pushbacks down, so again, sector healthcare fund, right? And then the IBB, so then you get the Modernas and the Pfizers and the Eli Lillys of the world.
Yeah.
We know you like that one,
I do.
but XLV, again, a nice push down. If you're looking for something other than tech, I would say diversify into something like this. Okay. You buy ETFs or no?
I do not, but it's something I have a financial advisor, so I have to run a lot through there. But yeah, next time I meet,
You have a financial advisor?
I do. Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. It was I had the opportunity to meet with one
Okay.
around when I started here actually.
All right.
And then yeah, I just decided to
Fair.
kind of work with that for now.
Good,
Yeah,
okay.
it's been cool.
Yeah, if you ever need any advice, take it from a financial advisor, not from me. But I will help you if you do need that. But that's why I asked about ETFs.
Yeah.
Because I think that if I had your age and wisdom, you're welcome, I would be probably just averaging into the indexes.
Yeah,
Pick
that's-
one you like, pick one you like. Not
I like
financial advice, get your financial advisor. Pay the man his money or woman.
Yeah.
Male or female, your financial advisor.
Female.
Wow, I like that, bang. Perfect. Same as mine, actually.
Oh, that's really cool. Okay.
Yeah. My wife.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. Okay, but she's more about the outflows rather than the inflows.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So we'll manage that together.
Different kind of financial advice.
All right, without any further ado, we have our trader guest of the day. It's Trader Talk. Let's bring him in. Still using this? Hey, it's Mr. Chris Varley. How are you, my friend?
We're doing well. We're doing well. I'm just enjoying listening to this back and forth between you and Dara here. First off, most everything you've touched on are things that I would have discussed already. And
Okay, then we'll see you tomorrow. That was been Chris Varley for Trader. No, I'm just joking. Bang right there. I'm just playing around, Chris. Sorry about that. All right, no, fantastic. Thank you for the nice words, and I'm really glad that Adara is, it's sounding good, and we're having a lot of fun here. So just like you guys that trade ideas. I mean, Michael Noss throws SU. We had Steve Gomez earlier. Just keeps on coming and keeps on getting the big hitters. What did we talk about last week? Did you want to review any of those names potentially, or anything you're looking at heading into earnings season right now?
The one thing that stood out to me today, I was cruising around different sectors.
Perfect.
And I was shocked when I looked and saw KBE was green on Friday, given the sell-off on the rest of the market. And you started mentioning the financials and the financial sectors layout that we had that you were going over.
Right.
I just found that kind of shocking. And looking tomorrow, Visa reports. So I have my eye on that for sure. Like everything else, it's had a bit of a pullback. Where do we find some safe havens here in this pullback? Again, we talked last week. It doesn't feel like there's a panic sell going on. It just feels very orderly in this pullback. And so, the strength after the pullback, these are the kind of things I was looking at. You mentioned some energy names before, and I happened to notice as well the XOP, doesn't look bad right now,
Right.
to be honest. It's had this pullback, and then again, it was green Friday, green again today. I know we sold off a lot, sold off into the close here. But even on this, a long-term look on it, and I know there's been a pullback in oil prices. I've still, I've got my eye on some energy plays as we go forward. I have a scan, I call it my evening scan. It's a homework scan essentially, and it's looking for stocks that are, the strongest over the last 20 days. There's some volume metrics with relative volume and shares traded on that. And so, AR is a name that stood out to me today on that.
Okay.
And again, as we look back on that here, it just hasn't pulled back like a lot of the rest of the market. So those are some of the things that I was looking at and going around on the market today. It's reporting on the 24th here. So, keep that in mind after hours for that, if that was something that you were looking at.
Yeah.
But again, those are the things that I'm trying to do right now when we've had some of the weakness that we've had.
Shout out to 1320 Wolf here, wants us to talk about frozen orange juice, but we're not going to do that. You know what I was thought, Chris? You mentioned Visa, very interesting name. If you come over to my chart right here, we actually had American Express report last week and a nice bump up and taking out the daily, looking absolutely fantastic as we push it out into a weekly chart. I mean, again, like how good is this? We have like 3 or 4 red weeks, maybe in the last 20. AXP really, really performing well. But then I flip over to the name that you just mentioned. I think, great name to look at here. Look at Visa. Visa not doing anything really. I mean, it's nice. It's near the top, but we have pulled back from that 285, 300 high. And if I go into a daily chart, man, this pullback looks pretty good. We've now had, let's just say, that's 290 top, that back into 270. So just about a little 8% or so pullback in. Is this something, Chris, a long-winded question, but will you look to Visa to the long side to play that because we had the beat from American Express? Or are we almost looking short because of how much of a laggard it's been against an AXP?
I just looking at the chart here and from the technicals, the way it started to break down, I look a little more short with it, to be honest.
Okay.
You start to see it take that step down on my multi-period low here. When we scale out here on, the picture-in-picture chart, it's just got this nice downtrend that started with it here. And, one of the old sayings for shorting, you never shorten the hole. This really isn't in the hole at this point, right? It's been an orderly pullback. You haven't seen anything really big. So I think this sets up a nice short opportunity. Now, with that said, of course, as always, If you see a bounce and you see it recapture around that 280, I'd flip that script really fast back to the other side, even looking, maybe up above that 275. It's not a dynamic mover like
Right.
some other stocks that we might see, especially at this price range. A Tesla or something like that, where you're seeing massive dollar swings in a day. So, if it continues to break below this 270, below this 275 level, I like it short. If it could reclaim that 275 and move into that 280 area, I'd like it long. And I know, long-winded answer to that too.
All good?
So are there any particular ways that you look for stocks or sectors differently when it comes to earnings season? So are you looking specifically for names with earnings coming up or names with a lot of sectors reporting earnings? So for example, we already had a lot of the bank earnings. Would that impact how you view those types of sectors? I guess just what I'm asking is how you look at for scanners for stocks and sectors during this earnings season.
So I won't hold through earnings. I usually like to wait about a day and a half to 2 days after earnings. And I do have a scan. I don't have it in the tree map form, but I'll bring it over and I have two versions of it here. And essentially it's, looking at stocks that are reporting today, before and after the earnings. And I sort it on market cap. I just kind of like to look at it from the market cap side of things. And I do the same thing. It's reporting tomorrow before and after earnings. So I start to go through these and look at what's been relatively strong, what the sectors then look like, and come up with a list of ideas that are generated from that and how I may or may not want to play. And like a lot of traders, it becomes if-then scenarios. If we break down this way, then I look short that way. If we break out this way, then I look long this way, type of thing. I don't like to, when I'm swing trading, when I'm putting on swing positions, I don't like anything that gets too crazy or too volatile. I like that kind of slow and steady wins the race, especially when I'm looking to scale into something, maybe holding it for a week or 2 weeks like that. So, a name like Visa is very interesting to me. You actually mentioned before Pepsi. We've got that on deck for tomorrow after hours, I believe. Tomorrow pre-market, excuse me. So, Pepsi's another one that I like here. When we scale out, it hasn't really broken down off those highs too far, rejected off that 200 number. And I like it. If we can get back over this little area here that we're looking at, that 175, 180 area in there, again, I like that to the long side.
Chris, we don't have Nucor reporting yet, but when that comes, I'm going to drop that to let everybody know a little bit about Nucor. So I apologize if I have to flash on you for that. But right now, Netflix. I don't know. This is what honestly is making me a little bit nervous. I'll give you a second to call up Netflix. Let's come over to my screen just real quick. What's making me nervous is this. I drop an anchored VWAP down here from this October bottom. This is something that Brian Shannon himself has told me that we should be doing this. This anchored VWAP comes all the way now into $500. Netflix today, quite honestly, man, a little disappointing. We were pretty much red or flat on the day for Netflix in what was a raging market. We just showed you pretty much every single stock that you can name today was going to be green, but Netflix had a hard time getting back up to the upside. To me, this doesn't bode well for future earnings, especially in mega cap names. So, Netflix, are you worried about it losing potentially this 540 area? I mean, for me, I am. If tomorrow's down 1%, I feel like the fangs and the claws come out again and go nuts on Netflix back into the downside. And I reviewed their quarter. It's not actually that bad. So I'm surprised on Netflix here. What do you think about us holding this 540 area? To me, I'm a buyer down here at 500 and no earlier.
So it's funny, that anchored VWAP from Brian Shannon talking about the October lows lines up really nicely right now with that gap.
Oh, yeah.
I guess the end of January or so. And, there's this old saying, gaps are meant to be filled. That gap kind of looks like it wants to be filled to that 500 level. Again, does it get there? Everybody's guess is as good as the next person. But, it's funny. I don't much look at earnings reports. I just know when they're happening. I happened to look at Netflix the other day, and you're right. It wasn't a terrible report by any stretch of any imagination, and yet for some reason the sellers are really, really picking on it. And I think tech stocks or entertainment stocks that are tech related are seeing a brunt of being picked on at this point, and you just wonder if it becomes self-fulfilling, that AVWAP and that gap fill.
So thanks for that. I'm with you, man. I think that when they line up like that, that gap is probably getting it filled back down into 500. What say you about a bear trap? So today, I guess, bull trap. We had to the upside move up there. We're going to be higher for longer. I think the Fed has sort of told us that. We may even get no cuts heading into the end of the year. I'm hoping for one. I don't know, Adara. I think we're on the same thing here. That we were thinking maybe one, possibly two as maximum for this year. So you know what I want to do? When I look at the Qs like this and I see a little up day, I want to just fade tomorrow. I mean, I think when you get very violent red days down, and then we just, although today was nice, I'm not going to hate on 1%, but we did give some back there into the close. What do you think that some of the bulls are just getting their hopes up with a day like today? Or what do you need to see in order to stamp along? Like, what needs to happen moving forward in the next couple days or weeks where you'll be feeling more comfortable that potentially the bottom's in?
So I would say first thing in order for stocks to go up is they got to stop going down. And today, while we had, you said we had the 1%, we were green. It's an inside day today. We did it on much later volume than what we saw last Friday or last week in general. And so that's cautious, right? We talk about for CMT's confirmation and how, volume can be confirmation. If we had come out screaming and we rivaled, came close to the volume on the Qs on Friday, the same thing with Spire, any of these larger tech names that have, really kind of held up the market and dragged the market along with it, I'd feel a lot different than I felt today. And again, I don't want to shorten the hole, right? Well, this for the bears and cautious for the bulls, this could be that opportunity where a short may just be lining up. And especially if we break below that 418 level early again tomorrow on the Qs, I'd be looking short on that as well. You've got that rounded look coming down from the top. Do I think there's some big crash coming? Nope. Do I think, the Fed is going to just come out and cut anything right away? Absolutely not. Do I think that they may cut by the end of the year? I think that's a very big possibility. They don't want to kink the market lower for, whatever reasons. They give you what their mandate is and inflation, employment, and so on and so forth. I don't think anybody could tell you that they're not looking at the market in some way, shape, or form. And while they haven't completely won this battle on inflation, I do think that they will look to do that towards the end of this year with a cut, believing that they've tackled the brunt of inflation at this point. But back to what you said before, I really think that you're right. The Q set up a nice look where we're not shorting in the hole here. We got a bit of a bounce day. Wasn't a strong or convincing bounce day, and I still feel like the sellers have their hands on the trigger. And that, to allude to something Steve mentioned earlier, I was watching you guys most on and off all day long. He talked about the inverse ETFs, and you'll find that even a lot of bulls, they know that it doesn't go up forever, the realistic bulls, and playing those inverse ETFs may be something that folks want to look at. Cautious with it like anything as always, especially those leveraged ones, and you have decay and whatnot. But this may be setting up a nice scenario for it and a good way to hedge. If you're long, if you have real long positions, long-term positions, you don't want to see those red days in your portfolio making those red days. Something like the SQs, maybe something you want to look at. The SDS on the S&P, those are some items, some ideas that you could throw out there for looking to hedge.
We had my best trade of the day was right in the afternoon when I actually, just as you said there, I traded the TQQ. So I went triple, and I actually went short, and the market faded, and it turned out to be good. All right, putting you on the spot. I don't want a long-winded answer. I don't want anything. What I want is this. You're going to tell me which big tech name you think will be up after earnings. I won't hold it to you, but which name do you think will be up after earnings if you could choose one? We don't have to go over charts or anything. I just want to know the name. Gun to head, which one do we think is going up?
Meta.
Meta. Okay, I like Meta too. I think that's a good one. I think it's dangerous on the chart, but I do like the move forward on Meta. I think you might have nailed that one. Thank you so much. And where can they find you? On socials, just at Trade Ideas? I think I asked you this last week.
Both. You can hit me info@trade-ideas.com. I'm monitoring that email box like a hawk all times. And you can find me with my first initial and last name. So C Varley 1734 on Twitter.
1734. All right. Hey, even if we see Michael Noss again, we still want to have you back. So thank you so much, Chris Varley, for filling in. You've done an absolutely fantastic job. And promise us you'll come back.
I'm happy to do it. You guys let me know when you want me, and we'll arrange it and we'll work it out. I'd be more than thrilled to be back.
Thank you so much, Chris. That is Trader Talk. Have yourself a good one. Hey, we lasted the whole time. Thanks, Chris. See ya.
Take care, everyone.
Gun to head, what is this, Pulp Fiction? Actually, that is true. We were Pulp Fiction characters, as you remember.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the year before I came, but I saw the photos of you and Neil as of Samuel L. Jackson and John Travolta.
Yeah, that was great.
That was a great
The
call.
shave for that and everything. You got your Halloween costume ready to go yet? We've got a couple months away.
I have a couple ideas. I also
Okay.
can't believe it's only like 6 months away, but yeah, I have a couple ideas. We're still ruminating, thinking it over, but yeah, some ideas.
Okay. All right. Well, that was fast.
That was fast.
Yeah.
Flew by.
You want to talk about some tweets quickly? Okay, so just real quick. Let's just do this real quick. So, we talked about a couple things today. I didn't tweet out too much today. We were really trying to focus on, how about this? That's a new, maybe me and you got to be on this thumbnail.
Oh yeah, I saw the
Where's
new
Fabian
thumbnail
at?
for
Where's
today.
Fabian at?
Yeah.
We got to show the new thumbnail, Fabian. I want to show the thumbnail. Where's the screen? There it is, this thumbnail right there. And then we had the top performers. I think that was pretty interesting. We had the sticky note today. We made a couple mistakes on Tesla, but we kept grinding with that one as that one continues to go. But the most important thing, here's the golf. So there's my kid. We went golfing on Friday. Thanks to Neil, yourself, and Brendan for filling in here. But we're back today, baby, with more and more action, and it's not going to stop. But you know what happens on this show? And I know that Sharif tries to do it as well.
Oh, I know what this is.
But this is the original. And we're not going to stop doing it, Adara.
Okay.
It's your roll call. All right. So today's roll call begins and ends with who's in the chat. We have over 2,100 people watching right now. We're super excited.
Yeah.
Because we've got the best moderator. And right now, Kill Bill. You like Kill Bill? You seen that movie?
I have not seen Kill Bill.
What?
I know. I know, Fabian and Shawn, I know.
All right. Well, let's say what's up to everybody. I don't know. No one's even, am I on the right stream here? All we've got is Bears versus Bulls here. This is going to be real easy right now. All right, what's up to Mo Fun? What's up to Pitchbull right now? What's up to Adrian is here. He says, Batman, excellent job, Adara.
Oh,
says
thank you.
Michelle Mira. I would think so too. That's fantastic. I mean, the more experience we get, the more we'll play off each other and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Not too many puns though this afternoon.
Yeah, I was trying to be more subdued for the first.
Good, I
first
like
appearance,
it.
right?
I like it. I
But
like
yeah,
it. I
we'll
like
see.
it. I like it a lot. All right, what's up? What's up to Matthias? What's up to BW? Traders up to Chef Joe. Oh, here we go. All right, great show. Mauricio's coming out. Mary's here. Hugh is here. Harry's here. Matthias. Dominica is here. Dominica is here. Bigley down under. All right, well, that's it. Not too many earnings.
Yeah.
We had CDNS, that was pretty disastrous. We saw that one. We saw Cliffs go to the downside. But that's it. This is a calm show.
Yeah.
But tomorrow, we get going. All right, we'll figure out something to do. But for now, we'll do this. We'll fist bump. It's Adara, and it's Shawn. You can follow us all on socials. What are your socials, Bio? Are you on Twitter yet? I saw you on Instagram.
I have Instagram. I need to get my Twitter account, but my Instagram account is tradertv.live, and I will often post selfies with myself with tea before the midday show or the How to Trade, which you can check out.
Selfies with tea?
Yeah, I just take a tea,
good.
take
Okay.
a selfie, and I'm like, check it out.
Good.
I don't know. It's my niche.
That's fun. What is your preference on a tea?
Peppermint.
Peppermint tea.
Yeah, a little boring.
That's not
Yeah.
boring. I don't mind peppermint.
I appreciate that.
It gets you going.
Yeah, it gives like a little like.
Because I talked to Adara, or not Adara, you're Adara. Hey Adara, how's
Hi.
it going? I talked to Ramin the other day, and she gave me some nice black tea from India. That
Black
was
tea's good.
really good. That was really tasty. All right, we're done. Thank you so much for watching, and this is the new recap show. I hope you enjoyed it. But let's go to the double screen so we can both wave goodbye. So for everybody here, we're doing this. Okay, so you got to look there. Which one do you want to do, Fabian? Let's do this one. For everybody here at Trader TV Live, that's Miss A. I am Shawn, and we will see you tomorrow bright and early at 8:30. Thanks, Adara.
Thank you.
Ciao. Thanks, Chris.
Thanks, everybody.